Last time on Trials and Tribulations, Franziska von Karma here. In case you missed anything, it's time to fill you in on this case. That Miles Edgeworth is always in my way, pointing out contradictions left and right. Speaking of points, he took a wild stab in the dark and pointed out that it was physically impossible for Iris to stab at least in him.
Do you think it would be possible to stab someone with this? She doesn't appear to be strong enough for that.
Will I finally be able to whip myself out of a corner and bring Miles Edgeworth to the breaking point? The clash for logic continues on Ace Attorney, Trials and Tribulations. Next.
If this witness is telling the truth, then there should be blood along the entire length of the sword!
9!
Order, go!
Sehr gut, Miles Edgeworth. Raising this many contradictions from a single piece of evidence. All the other attorneys I know could maybe manage one, if that.
But what does all this mean? You have proven contradictions regarding the murder weapon, but...
Having come this far, there can only be one answer.
And that is?
The weapon used to kill the victim was not the Shichichito.
What?
A foolishly foolish idea born of the foolish mind of a foolhardy foolish fool.
Let's examine this again. What was it that made us think this sword was the murder weapon?
Well, it's because Mystic Ami was holding it.
Exactly. However, if you reflect on this, that is the only basis we have to assume such a thing. The impression left by the scene was just too strong. That is what influenced us. It influenced us to believe that the Shichishito was the murder weapon.
Order, go!
So maybe the Shichishito was not the murder weapon. Even if that is the case, it changes nothing, Miles Edgeworth. The sister here saw everything. She saw the defendant stab the victim with a sword-like object.
That's true. Your response, Mr. Edgeworth?
If that is so, I would like the prosecution to answer the obvious question it raises.
The obvious question?
Yes, namely, where did the real murder weapon disappear to?
What?
It goes without saying that the police searched the main hall and the surrounding area. Perhaps the prosecution can enlighten us as to if a sword-like object was found.
That...
Answer the question, Miss Von Karma.
No evidence of that kind was found.
Another mystery to throw onto the pile. A trial without a murder weapon is a tricky beast.
Excuse me, could I say something? I just remembered something, actually.
What is it, sister?
I was just thinking, it's possible that just maybe what actually happened was, it was just over there.
What exactly are you going on about here?
The murder weapon. I mean, maybe I think I might know where the sword was disposed of.
You what?
Well then, I think we need to hear a testimony from you one more time, sister.
Impossible. What else? What else could this old woman have seen?
I saw the murder at around 11 p.m. And after asking that it be reported, I went out to the main gate, and there I saw tracks. Tracks that indicated the snowmobile had been used. It takes 15 minutes to walk to Dusky Bridge, but less than 5 using one of those. Maybe they threw the weapon into Eagle River and came back while I was knocked out? Iris could have done that. She can drive a snowmobile, after all.
Witness, please, tell us everything you know right away next time.
Well, I'm not in the best of shape. What with my back and my age, you know.
Quite. There were indeed snowmobile tracks in front of the main gate. Here is a photograph.
A snowmobile, eh? I see. Well, it certainly is an interesting theory.
The tracks begin in front of the Hazakura Temple and run all the way to the Dusky Bridge. That solves your pesky little problem, yeah? The Eagle River's current is quite swift, meaning that it doesn't freeze over in the winter, making it the perfect place to dispose of the murder weapon.
Did she really go to the river to dispose of this murder weapon?
Mr. Edgeworth, your cross-examination, please.
Just like Waldo, there is a contradiction hiding here somewhere. Just have to find it. Hold it! As I recall, there was a snowmobile outside the main gate when I visited.
That's it. That's the only one we have. It'll run no matter how much snow falls.
Now, you're certain the snowmobile was there at the main gate when you arrived?
Yes, of course. It was parked in front of the gate.
So, she had already gone, discarded the murder weapon, and returned by that time.
I'm not sure if this is really relevant. What should I do? I need answers to every possible doubt. The snowmobile in question, was it still warm at that time?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
What do you mean, eh?
What do you mean, Miles Edgeworth?
I'm playing to a slow crowd here. It goes without saying that using a snowmobile will heat its engine. If it was still warm, then it means it was recently used.
Oh, I see. I never thought of that.
That's right. I overlooked that too.
Of course you did, Schweinhund.
Then answer the question, please, witness.
I don't often go around touching hot engines. However, now that you mention it, there wasn't any snow on it.
Snow?
Yes, for some reason, only the snowmobile wasn't covered in snow.
There wasn't any snow on it? Curses.
It seems highly likely that the killer did use the snowmobile then, eh?
How long does it take to get to the Dusky Bridge by snowmobile?
I think I know the... Hold it! In that case, why didn't you use it yourself? You could have spared yourself some walking.
There's a reason for that. Have we got a moment for me to explain?
No, I think that's why the question was asked in the first place. Stupid.
It was about a month ago. I was driving my beloved little snowmobile, happy as can be. I'd fetched some water and was heading back when I went and crashed into a tree. The tree and my back both went crunch. Just like that. Crunch.
Crunch.
I haven't been able to find the courage to ride anything since then. Anyway, the killer must have used it.
Where is this? Hold it! Refresh our memory. How long were you knocked out for?
Like I said, somewhere between 10 to 20 minutes.
It's possible to get to the bridge and back in 10 minutes using the snowmobile.
I have to concede that is more than enough time.
Is that all you wish to concede, Miles Edgeworth?
Where is the contradiction? Hold it! While it would have been possible, time-wise, one element remains out of place here.
Oh, and what would that mystery element be?
The killer's reasoning, Your Honor. Why did the killer do all of this? Why go to the Eagle River to dispose of the murder weapon when there are other methods?
Too many unanswered questions. Your response, Miss Von Karma?
Whoa! Turning to me for help over the slightest things. Why don't you think for yourself once in a while, Your Honor?
Well, excuse me, Princess.
You're excused.
She's as over the top as always.
Anyway, whatever the reason, the fact remains that the defendant could have done this. The murder weapon was disposed of in the river. Another point to me, Miles Edgeworth.
Another mystery to feed the fire. Was there any reason to go and throw away the murder weapon? Luckily, there is surely a problem with this testimony. Now all I have to do is start poking holes in this flawed account. And I think I know how. Hold it! You were sure about the time?
Yes, I was worried about it after all.
Why was that?
Because I have a strong sense of responsibility, especially at this time of year. The acolyte was being doused in freezing water at the time. I couldn't very well take it easy in the bath all night, now could I? So, at 11, I decided to leave Hasakura Temple.
Her estimation of the time seems reliable, at least.
Please continue, sister.
I think I know exactly where this contradiction is now. Yes, it's practically staring me in the face. Best get some more information, though. Hold it! You asked Phoenix Wright to report the crime, correct?
Right. The one who trampled me.
It seems she is the type to hold a grudge.
There isn't a phone in the main hall, so I sent him to the bridge.
Phoenix Wright? He didn't even have his cell phone on him.
He had forgotten it at home, apparently.
What a naive boy, as always. Not only do I always carry my phone, but I always have a whip in hand, too.
Anyway, I was really scared, and it was taking him a while to get back. So I thought I'd go out by the main gate for a spell.
Is there anything else I need to press her on? Have I already gone through this line of reasoning? Yes, I think I have. Let's skip this. Now, to present that photo of the snowmobile, those tracks obviously prove that it only went one way. Let's... What are you doing? No, that's the weather report. That doesn't help us in this case. Go back to the photo of the tracks. No, not Iris's testimony. Oh, we're doing this again, aren't we? We are. Could you please just skip ahead to the part where you just present the damn photo? I don't have time for this.
Fine. Objection!
I admit this photograph proves something. It proves that the snowmobile was used on the night of the murder.
You finally accepted the inevitable, it seems, Miles Edgeworth.
However, if what the witness says is true, why is there only one set of tracks?
What do you mean?
Iris left Hazakura Temple, threw the weapon into the river, and then returned. If this was the case, then naturally there should be two sets of tracks in the snow. Those from heading out to the bridge, and those from coming back.
You're right.
You are forgetting one thing, Miles Edgeworth. On the night of the murder, it was snowing. The tracks leading to the bridge were erased by the snowfall. This removes your precious contradiction now, doesn't it?
I see. While she was at the river, the snow stopped, leaving just the return tracks in the snow.
What do you have to say now, Miles Edgeworth?
Is there a flaw in her theory? This idea that the snowfall covered one set of tracks? There is a contradiction. The tracks to the river were covered by snow. What a nice theory. However, Miss Von Karma, that is impossible.
Would you care to explain? Why there's a rude index finger currently pointed in my general direction?
No need. The evidence will do all of the talking for me.
On the night of the murder, the killer went to and returned from Dusky Bridge. In order to dispose of the murder weapon, the outgoing tracks were erased by the snow. Or so claims Miss Von Karma. Mr. Edgeworth, present your evidence to the contrary, eh? Evidence that the outgoing tracks were not covered by snow.
I'll present it and a cough drop for you.
Bribery will get you nowhere in this court, Mr. Edgeworth.
Take that! Witness, please tell us again what time it was when you witnessed the crime.
Like I said, it was around 11.
Of course, this means that the weapon was thrown away after that time, correct? On that note, please take a look at this data. It is the weather report for Eagle Mountain on the night of the murder.
The weather report?
Snow started to fall at 7 p.m., but it stopped at around 10:50. Therefore, when the sister witnessed the crime at 11 p.m., the snow had already stopped falling. It is impossible for any tracks after that time to have been covered up.
Ah!
Order! Very well then. It looks like Miss Von Karma's claim has been snowed in. I'm clever. Whoa!
It's too soon to be closing this trial due to snow. Miles Edgeworth, how pathetic of you to rely on the weather of all things. Answer me this, then. When is a weather report ever correct?
No, you've got it all wrong. This isn't a forecast, this is the actual data. Whoa!
Forecast data, all weather reports have some inaccuracies. It may have been still snowing in the vicinity well past 11 p.m.
It's true, we cannot be totally sure, eh?
What? How did she pull that off?
It had stopped snowing at Hazakura Temple when the murder took place. You need to provide conclusive evidence of this.
I've come this far. There's no turning back now. Very well. I, too, cannot allow any doubt to remain concerning this testimony.
You can't back down, can you? Such a perfectionist, Miles Edgeworth.
Very well then, Mr. Edgeworth. Where is your evidence that it had already stopped snowing when the victim was killed?
Where is this evidence? Aha! Take that! Ultimately, it all comes down to one point. That being, whether or not it was snowing in that courtyard when the victim was stabbed.
That's right, but proving that is...
incredibly easy. If we want to know whether it was snowing or not, this photo will tell us everything. Of course, I am referring to the photo of the crime scene. As you can see, everything is covered with snow, with just one exception.
And that is?
The victim herself, Miss Elise Denim. Why is there no snow on top of her? The answer is simple. It had stopped snowing when she was killed. That's why. In other words, if the killer really did go to the Eagle River to dispose of the murder weapon, then in this photograph, there should be two sets of tracks.
Order! Just what are you— Oh, I knew that was coming!
Just what are you suggesting, Miles Edgeworth?
To be honest, I'm not entirely sure myself, but this is simply what all of the facts point to. That night, someone used the snowmobile to leave Hazakura Temple. From the tracks left, it can be understood that they were heading for Dusky Bridge. At that time, it was still snowing.
Of course it was, because those tracks were gone.
Then when this person returned to Hazakura Temple, the snow had stopped. Thus, the return tracks remained.
Can I say something?
No.
This all sounds a bit fishy to me.
What does, sister?
There is only one key for the snowmobile.
Furthermore, on the night in question, we know that the defendant had it. The key was found in her room after the murder.
Which can only mean that night, Iris used the snowmobile to go to the inner temple.
but Iris said that she never went there. I should probably press on this point some more when I get the chance.
The snowmobile can't cross the suspension bridge. So she must have left it on the Hazakura side of the bridge and crossed on foot.
That sounds right.
But what's odd is, when I left Iris and returned to Hazakura Temple, I didn't see anything near Dusky Bridge.
You must have just failed to see it, sister.
Maybe, but when I made it back to Hazakura Temple, it was there, by the main gate. The snowmobile, I mean. I know what I saw. It was covered in snow, too.
But that isn't possible!
Order in the court! What does this all mean? Whip, hello? Oh.
So then what was the snowmobile used for? It wasn't taken by the defendant when she went to the inner temple. If it had been, then the witness couldn't possibly have seen it by the gate. Furthermore, it wasn't used by the killer to dispose of the murder weapon. If that was the case, there should be 2 sets of tracks in this photo. All we know is this. After it stopped snowing, someone used the snowmobile to return to Hazakura Temple. I never thought a simple snowmobile could cause so much trouble.
I think we've arrived at this point due to the witness.
Yes. I have nothing more to add. I've told you everything that I know.
Well then, that still leaves us with the same problem. If only there was someone, a witness who could testify to having seen the snowmobile.
A witness, huh?
Was there no one out walking perhaps near Dusky Bridge on that night?
I don't think that's likely. It was cold enough to freeze your anaconda and your buns, hon. Only an idiot would go out wandering in that. Unless they had something really important to do.
That's a shame.
Hold on. Something is coming to me. An idiot may well have gone wandering out on that subarctic night. Your Honor! I actually have an idea. There may be one individual able to help us.
Really?
You know of someone who might have seen the snowmobile on the night of the murder.
I don't know for sure if he saw it or not. But there are 2 things about him that do come to mind.
Which are?
First, that he saw something incredible on the night of the murder.
And the second being?
This individual that I am thinking of went wandering outside on that cold night. In other words, he is our kind of idiot.
Mr. Edgeworth, who is this idiot you're talking about? And it better not be me.
If something smells, then it's usually the butts. Take that!
This guy must be a product of Jean-Luc de Leduc's Guide to Obnoxious French Painting. I read that quite often.
This is Larry Butts, the student of the victim, Elise Denim.
Her student? Interesting. Why was he wandering on the night of the murder?
That's... I could tell them all about his designs for Iris. But it may cost us his credibility as a witness before I even call him. He is, after all, an artist. He was, perhaps, searching for something in the snowy scenery that would move him. Although I cannot guarantee that this is the reason.
And so, this unfortunate, unreliable-looking man. What exactly was it he saw,
I intend to extract that from him right here in this courtroom.
Summon this youth as a witness immediately!
I have no choice, do I?
I believe he is in the gallery for this trial. It will not take long to summon him.
Very well.
Larry, you may have escaped me yesterday, but today I'm going to get everything out of you.
The court will now adjourn for a 20-minute break. Miss Von Karma, please see to preparing the next witness.
Understood, Your Honor.
Good. Well then, court is now in recess. Gavel.
Excuse me, Mr. Edgeworth? I'm not really sure what to say.
Iris, we only have 20 minutes. There are two things which I need to ask you before we reconvene.
All right, I'll help you any way I can.
First, about that night. You really didn't go to the Inner Temple, correct? The last witness claims to have met and talked with you in the training hall. Either you or Sister Bikini is lying.
Mr. Edgeworth, it is just as I said yesterday. Until the incident occurred, I was in my own room in Hazakura Temple.
Very well. The second thing, then. That night, the temple snowmobile was used in between the time Sister Bikini returned to the main hall and when she bore witness to the murder. Sometime between 10:30 and 11 p.m. that night, were you the one who used the snowmobile?
There was only one key for the snowmobile. The only person who could have used it was me.
So it was you. But why? What made you go out to Dusky Bridge?
I'm sorry, Mr. Edgeworth.
Oh, no! Not now! Iris.
I can't tell you about that yet.
Yet?
Not until her safety is confirmed.
Her?
The safety of the Acolyte.
The Acolyte, huh? She must be talking about Maya. Iris, look me in the eye and tell me the truth. Did you kill Elise Denim?
No matter who or what may come, I could never take a life.
As I thought, no psycholock. Very well. It is my job to get the truth. You'll discover this for yourself soon enough.
Let's start project.